there's a huge, kangaroo. There's a huge amount of herbivore out there, okay? And other cultures have a much more diversified, eclectic diet of herbivores than our culture, which basically just eats boneless, skinless breasts and hamburger. I mean, if the same with vegetables. We eat what, like 6 vegetables, tomatoes and cucumbers and lettuce and iceberg lettuce at that. I mean, and we have bred this produce, which is 95% water. I want you to think about, that all of our plant breeding in the last 40 years has gone into breeding a membrane that's 95% water to withstand a 2,000-mile truck trip from California. I mean, take a tomato, a tomato's got to sit there and ride in that truck, for 2,000 miles from California to Boston. What's it going to taste like when it gets here? You better make it out of cellulose and carbon and cardboard, or it's going to be pulp by the time it gets here. And so all of our breeding has been, again, assuming that food is not fundamentally biological, but that food is fundamentally mechanical. And I would suggest that that's one of the biggest divisions right now in the orthodoxy of the U.S. and of this kind of group, this tribe. The orthodoxy is fundamentally different, and that's why they can't abide our success. 30 years ago, we were, 0.01% of the food system, and then this local food tsunami started to hit. People started bailing off the Monsanto ship, and now we've arrived at this incredibly market hoarding place of 1.8%. Monsanto's scared. Cargill's scared. And so what they've done is in a fraternity of ideas, they have colluded with the big industrial foodists, the mechanical foodists that view food as fundamentally mechanical. All they've done, the research in the food processors is all about how do we make food that doesn't rot. And if it doesn't rot, it won't digest. And food that you can't pronounce. And we're the first culture that's ever tried to eat food that you couldn't pronounce. That's ever tried to eat food that won't rot. Take a squirt of Velveeta cheese, put it on the table, it'll just sit there in a lump all year. It doesn't mold.